Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. It's Kate Richberg, and it is Wednesday, December 24th. Santa is hopefully delivering his presents, right? Sorry, there's something fell. Let me fix it.
I saw him in New Zealand last night.
New Zealand? Santa's in New Zealand. All right, good to know. I thought I'd dress a little festively since it is Christmas Eve. We've got all kinds of stuff to do today. It's going to be kind of laid back, right? I'm going to make a project. What inspired this project is my Christmas dress, my holiday dress. This is my I wore it for our Beadshop holiday dinner. Right. So I thought I'd wear it today. Why not? Let's get a lot of wear out of it, right? Amazon. I got it on Amazon. If you like it, I should put it up on the Amazon shop, right? It's so cute. I love it. Here, let me see. Can you see it? Right? There it is. My holiday dress. Ta-da.
Look at my dress.
I love it. Miranda's in her holiday pajamas, but Miranda wanted me to let you know that Friday there's Miranda's holiday pajamas. You can't see them, but right there. There we go. Holiday pajamas. Perfect. Friday is going to be pajama day. Emily and me and Miranda. We're all wearing pajamas all day. So I am going to do the broadcast in my holiday pajamas. So yeah, that's the story. Join us. So yeah, I'll put my holiday dress. I'll put it in the Amazon store. I love it. It wasn't expensive and it's super comfortable and very flattering. I wore it to my Quilt Guild holiday party and two of the ladies, they loved it. And I said, oh, I got it on Amazon. And they came up to me like 5 minutes later and said, oh, I bought your dress, which was kind of funny, I thought. So we can all match. It can be our team dress. Let me just wash your face here real quick. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, so that's the story. I hope everyone is having a good Christmas Eve, a good Hanukkah season, a good solstice. I don't know if you saw the solstice over on at Stonehenge, but they had a black cat. Someone brought their black cat, and the black cat was climbing all over the rocks. It was amazing. So now Alfred has told me that the greatest wish of his life is to go to Stonehenge. So we'll see if that happens. You never know. So what we're going to be doing today, my friends, is I thought it would be fun to show you some of the new buttons. We just had a launch this morning of some new stuff that we put out, some new buttons, some new clasps, some things. So yeah, it's some really, really pretty stuff that I've got for you. So we're doing that. Yeah, Alfred does have a bucket list. Let me see if I can find it. Miranda was holding Alfred. Let me see if I can put up that photo. Alfred comes out and it feels like every day he wants, yeah, there it is. He wants pets and he meows for pets. And it's very funny. Let me see if I can just download it here. And so Miranda had him and was holding on to him. It was very funny. Let me see if I can get it. It's worst. It's worth the wait. Janice, you can post it in the group. It's okay. Post your party. We should post our party too. We didn't. Let me see if I can upload Alfred's photo here. Hang on. It should be here on. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. Let me take this down. Hold, please, while I get to this. Let me take that off. And let me see. Oh, Margaret, Stonehenge. You know, I had a good time going to I went to Stonehenge way back in the day when we could actually go up to the stones.
It looked like everybody was up in there.
They do that once on solstice. They let people roam around the stones. So I agree. I'm going to get Alfred talking cat buttons, to be honest. But I'm worried that he will talk too much. So Chris is worried about what Alfred will say. So we haven't gotten him talking buttons. Hang on, I have to delete a couple of assets before I try and add Alfred. Third time's a charm. Let's see if I can. But yeah, but I promise you this picture is worth the wait. Morphing, do you have cat buttons for your cat? I kind of want them, but I'm a little worried. Let me see. There is Miranda with Alfred. Can you see? Can you see how tall? Alfred is like half the height of Miranda. There he is in all of his dangle glory. There. So, yes. So can you imagine? He might break Stonehenge if I bring him. So you never know. Oh, you've got dog buttons. That is, I bet it's cool. I know. I should get Alfred some buttons. We'll see. We'll see. All he would say is pets, food, kibble, outside, ham snack, stick. Though lately he's been staying inside because we've been trying to, keep him away from too many sticks. So yeah, it would be, it's a lot. So let's get to this though, my friends. Let's get to the holiday cheer here. I want to show you what I'm going to be making. I was inspired by my holiday dress and I needed another pair of earrings for it. So I am, I'm going to make those. So let me zoom out here. Get this, zoom out. So what we're using today, oh, this camera's crooked. There we go. Is we're going to be using some soft flex. We're going to do the soft flex earrings, which we've done in the past, but we haven't done in so long. But we've got the new, we got the new drops. Miranda, would you grab some of the smooth drops, the new smooth drops for me, just so we can show those? Oh, I love this. Sherry says her friend Sheena got dog buttons for their Labradoodle and it backfired because she was too smart. Sheena was working and Doggy learned, "I love you, Mama," when she couldn't get her way. So that will totally be Alfred. Oh, I've got this one already. That's the one I'm using today. And there we go. So there it is. Oh no, Janice, these are talking buttons that you put on a mat. And they go and they press the mat buttons when they want to know, when they want to communicate. It's pretty cool. There's a lot on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I love it. Let me show you first some of our new stuff, and then we'll get to this earring. You can see, let me show you that earring once again here, right there. And it's done with soft flex. So like two little kind of almost like necklaces, but it's such a fun earring. And whenever I wear it, you folks love it. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do today. So these are the new buttons, and the new buttons have been selling really fast. They launched at midnight. We are getting some more. As a matter of fact, I will bet that Janice is already on it, hint, hint, JP, for the new buttons. These are the ones that Miranda and Emily and I chose, and we only chose like sample qualities. So we will get more of these in. Our supplier has plenty, so I promise you they'll be in. We got two of the large ones. This one is almost sold out, this Art Nouveau leaf, which I love. This one is one of the larger buttons. Yes, Janice says, I am on it. Perfect. It's a big one. This one is a little over an inch. It's 27 millimeters. I just love this so much. It would look great as a bracelet closure. It'll be great. We also got this wheel button that we've carried before. This one's in this peridot and purple color, which we love. So there's that one. These two are the bijou buttons. These are a little bit smaller. Those are 18 millimeters, so they're about 3/4 of an inch. There are these guys. And then we got a new daisy button, this betrayal, which is gorgeous. We got this AB, we got the AB moon, and then we got these colorette, this black and gold, and then this kind of turquoise with betrayal. So these are great. So these have just launched, which I love, love, love. And again, if we're sold out of any of them, Janice is on reordering already. Okay, so we'll be on it. Cindy, that's a great question. I was going to get some of those cabochons. Would you folks be interested in them? What our supplier does is, instead of putting the button shanks on the back, they just have the plain cabochons, and we love them. So maybe I'll get some in the new year for bead embroidery. We have some of the Swarovski sew-on rhinestones that we're going to launch. So yeah, we will look at those. Miranda, remind me, JP, remind me, we will grab some of those after the new year. It would be pretty to have some of these long ones, so you just don't have to worry about cutting off the shank and possibly breaking the button. And usually they have a nice flat back when they just make them into cabochons. So yeah, I wasn't sure if you folks would like those, but yeah, we'll get some of those. We also got, these are part of, there's a new tiara cast launch from Passion Fashion. And these are called the vignette button. These are brand new from them. We are carrying them in the silver and in the antique brass. They are gorgeous, gorgeous. I love them. These are, again, maybe about 17 millimeter, 14, hang on, about 15 millimeter. So they're really great. I love them. We also got a, Miranda, can you grab me the toggle? I want to show you that toggle. I have the leaf right here, which I love. Here's the leaf. We've got this, this is a magnetic leaf. I'm going to use this on Friday, on Free Tip Friday. But look at how nice this is. And what I love about these is it has like this little safety right here. And it just locks right in. So we've got those. We have it in silver and gold. And look at this clasp. Again, we only got a few of these. We will have more of these coming, but grab it. This is also part of that line right there. Okay, so those are new. Let me do that. Let me put this back up right there. Okay, so they're very, very pretty. I love the quality of this button is really good. I really like it. I think that's going to become a staple for us for sure. So that's all of the new stuff that we've got that launched this morning. If we are out of anything, just put yourself on the notification list, and I promise you those will be back in. So let's get to the project, shall we? And I don't know if you saw this on our newsletter the day before yesterday, I think. I have been repurposing some of our content that we have here on our YouTube channel. And the content, I've been taking the lives and I've started to kind of edit them down so they only show the what do I want to say, the technique, the tutorial, right? So for instance, what I can do, I'm going to put edit. I think that's what I say, edit, so that our StreamYard automatically makes a cut. So I can start editing these and put them up on YouTube, not as lives, but as tutorials. So we've got some up there. Okay, so take a look. I will link them in the newsletter as I get to them, but that's a goal for 2026, is to edit the lives down so that they go from a live to a tutorial. We'll have both up. All of the lives will be under the live tab, but I know that a lot of you just want to see the tutorial afterwards. So I'm just adding to that plate. So good. I'm glad you like the idea. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you know when those new videos get uploaded. We would love it. Okay, so that's my goal for 2026. It is good to have a goal, right? Cindy, I love that you have all the parts and you haven't made them. I love these earrings. I was looking around for some to show you live and in person, but I wear mine all the time, so I'm not really sure where they are. But I'm going to make some, and you saw them on the photo. But the thing is, for these, is you need the smooth drops. We also got these in. They're fresh. I'm going to use this Venetian gold for today. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. Let's see. There's another couple of questions. Oh, Clarissa said we got the new, the bag handles and the snaps are also in for the tote bags. Those are up on the website. So if you took the bag class and you want to grab some more of those are also up. Thank you for those of you who are posting your finished makes in on the bead table. Very excited by that. Great to see those. And Terry, also, we will link the original live to the shorter projects. That's a really great idea. So I'll put a link in the comments for those as well. Okay, I will do that. Let me see, Heather, the option should say sold out. It should say add to the notification list. Check and see, maybe refresh your page. Sometimes that notification list doesn't play with the browser. So double check it, refresh it, because I've had that trouble a couple of times, but I have a long laundry list for our web guy to work on after the new year, and that is on it. But thank you for asking that. The snowflake earrings. Yes, Dawn, we can post those. I'll put those on the homepage as well as a project. But those are also fun. Janice, if you can find those, it's under Super Duo earrings, I think. But I'll put them on the homepage for you too. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to put that again, edit. Let's see if StreamYard does its job when I do the edit there. All right. So what you're going to need for this project is you're going to need some smooth drops. I'm going to use these Venetian ones. I will list it as a project when we're done. I wasn't really sure quite what I was going to use. We're going to use this Champagne and Picasso green 6mm, which I have here. I'm going to use some of the spacers, the coiled spacers. I'm going to use some 3mm and 4mm fire polish in the antique white and the Picasso black. I thought I haven't used them in a minute, so I'm going to use those the little shadows, the small shadows in brass. And Miranda, would you also grab I think the metal box is over on the cart, so I don't have to take these out.
What?
The box of metal beads. I'm using the 11-457 in 11-aught. And then I'm using some of the beads. The Come As You Are mix has been sold out, but I'm going to use some of the beads from it because we do carry it. I'm going to use, I think it's the 11-134. It's the,
Dark topaz.
yeah, the dark
Yeah,
topaz.
transparent dark topaz.
And then what's this one? Whatever that one is.
4201F. It's like
It's a quiz for Miranda.
galvanized silver.
Oh, all right. Well, we're going to use some of those. I'll list it. There's my open shadows.
4201F, not galvanized
4201F. Miranda's got it. Ding, ding, ding. I love it.
Sorry, what else did you ask me for?
I think that's all for now. I'm also going to use some of the soft flex. You can use soft flex in any color. I'm using it in the antique brass, but you can use it in any color you like. Okay. So let me cut these apart. Oh, I'm glad that worked for you. You know, I'm sorry about that glitch in the in that app. I will see if I can get it done after the new year so we can get that going. So what I like about these soft flex earrings, and I'm gonna flash them one more time. Let me show you this here. So you can see it's a 2-strander, and I have 2, 4, 6 drops on the bottom, 5 drops on the top, and then I just kind of fill it in. So when I'm designing, when I want something to really be important in the middle, I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. And I'm also going to start like both of these kind of at the same time. So what we're going to do with this soft flex is I'm going to cut 2 pieces. And I am going to cut, let me measure here. I'm going to cut 1 piece at 8 inches and 1 piece at 9 inches. Okay, because the hoops, the soft flex earrings that I'm making, one is longer than the other. So that's the 8-inch piece. This is the 10-inch piece, like so. Okay, so I've got both of them here, and I'm using my heavy duty cutter. This is the Xuron Maxi Shear for that. Okay. Now, I'm going to use these drops right here. Let me cut these apart too. Though any of our new drops would work, but again, I want this to kind of have a holiday vibe to it. Which is my long. Here's my long end. I might as well get all of these out for now. Let me get these 2. These are the little shadows in brass. One of my favorite beads to have. This. And then these. So let me go over these materials for you one more time so they're all in one place. What I have here are, I've got the soft flex. This is the 0.019, the medium size. I've got the smooth drops. You choose the color, but this is that Venetian in white and gold. A 3mm and a 4mm fire polish, black Picasso and vintage white. I have the coil spacer right here in antique brass. The little shadow also in antique brass. The fire polish in 6mm in Champagne and Green Picasso, though you could use any 6mm here. You could even go up to an 8. You could use a melon, a smooth druck, whatever you wanted. And then, of course, you need 1 or 2 11-aughts. I'm using the 11-457. And then I'm using a variety of 8-aughts in here as well. And I will link all of those in the project. So that is that for the materials. I'm also going to use as closures, we're going to crimp, and I'm going to cover that crimp with a antique brass crimp cover. And then one of my favorite wires, ear wires, is this vintage, the lever back. I'm going to do that in the antique brass as well. So here's my long and my short piece of, let me put this over here, my long and my short piece of soft flex, and we'll start in the middle. Okay, I'm going to put a drop, and see how I'm holding both strands of my soft flex like this so I can build it from both sides. Let me get this 11-aught out too, because I kind of have a vision in my head of how I want these to look. Though, if you just wanted to string it from one end to the other, what I would do is I'd put a little piece of tape on this end, so I'm not worried about anything falling off. But for now, I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to put 6 of these drops on like that. Let's see how they look. And an 11-aught and a drop and an 11-aught. You don't have to make these double looped either, right? You can just make a single hoop of these and make them as large or as small as you wanted, right? I could make a giant loop like this and fill it in. That would look cool. I think what I want to do for these, this is 3. Let me see how 5 drops look on here. I may want an odd number, though I did count 6 for the other ones, and I can just put them on from one side because they're all the same. Let's see what happens. Get that in there. That's 4. Here's 5. Maybe I want them to be kind of opulent. Let's see. You know how I like. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 5, 2, 4, 5. I think I will do 6 for the bottom, and then I'll do 5 for the top. Okay. So here are these like this. And then, and remember, this is a pair, so you're going to have twice as many of the beads. So here's that one, okay, right there. Let me get a little tighter in. So if I have 6 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that will be that. Let me make sure I have enough for both earrings with just one strand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, perfect. And then if I want to put a drop or anything up at the top, I've got 3 left. They come 25 to a strand. So I'm going to put those over there, reserving them for my next, my next pair. So let me do this. I'm just going to build both of these strands also at the same time. So let me put these on. This is a really quick project. And using the soft flex for this, I think, makes it such a fast and easy string. Choosing a soft flex that also is a colored soft flex rather than a like the original silver color, though you could use that too. It would look great. Also adds a lot, and you don't have to fill up the whole thing with beads. You can have some of this soft flex exposed as well, right? All right. And these earrings, they're not real heavy. After I make one, I'll have Miranda weigh it for you. I kind of like doing that so you can kind of see what that would be. So here are those two right here. Okay. So next, I'm going to put in I think, you know what? I'm going to put in a metal bead there, just to give it a little bit of air in between these drops and everything else. Be really careful when you pick these up because both of these ends, my friends, are open. So when I try these and kind of size them and everything, I'm going to add tape to the ends. So there's that and that. Okay. Let me get in a little tighter here so you can see this. Now I'm going to add the champagne Picasso, and the champagne strands also, they come with the champagne and they also come with the green. I think I'm going to use mostly the champagne ones in these. I'm going to pick those out, though you could use both. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to put that down there. Whoops. If I can get it on there. And this one on here. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want these 6 millimeters to run up against each other. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a little more space in this top one, because also visually I don't want it to be quite as heavy visually. So I'm going to put one of those white beads. Then I'm going to put that on. Yeah, I like it. The other thing that I didn't do, and again, I don't want to add too much weight to these, but I want to see how these metal spacers, how those look. Yeah, I like the looks of that. Can you see it when it tightens up there? Let me, that looks nice. Oh, and the suggestion of using the smaller Miyuki drops for these, that would also work for sure. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move these spacers down to this one and just keep the white ones around this one. Because I don't, visually, I want to be mindful of the weight of these earrings. I also want to be mindful of the visual weight. And I feel like these spacers, they're kind of big. So I feel like it gives some visual weight to our earring that I'm not looking for. Okay, so here's this. This actually also might be a little too ... dash for me. So I'm just going to stop it right there. I'm not quite sure where I want to go with it yet. So let me put a piece of tape here so that when I pick these up, I don't drop anything. And let me add some spacers to the bottom one. Let me do this. I'll put this in. And this. And maybe I only want them on the bottom instead of hemming them in. Yeah, that looks great. I still, let me do this. I'll take this off. Maybe I just want one. If I only do them at the bottom, I think that visual weight is negated a little bit. Or maybe if I need some more metal, I'll put on the shadow. Let's do that. And, you know, it is a short little piece here, so, you know, we're not stringing that much. Let's hold that up. That's looking good. Maybe I'll put another 6 mil, maybe somewhere up here, and add another spacer. Okay. These fire polish crystals are. Can you double check, Miranda? I think it is the antique white.
Dropped?
No, these.
Oh yes, that is it.
Antique white.
Or vintage white.
Oh, vintage white. Okay. It is a great idea for soft flex scraps, 100%. I don't know. I am missing. Let me just put it here. I feel like I am missing that spacer. Then maybe this goes on top. Yeah, it's really true. Go with your gut, Richburg. That spacer was the right thing there. And it doesn't add that much weight. And it's like what's noted, you could also use a daisy spacer. Right? There we go. Okay. So now I want to fill in with some smaller beads. I think I'm going to fill in with the black Picasso 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, maybe 8, maybe if I do 3 and 3, and I put in those there, and maybe some. Let me just string this up. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself with this, right? Let me get a little tighter. Okay, there we go. Let me put the shadow, the 3 mil, the 11-aught. I'm worried that I'm going to pull this out, so let me just. Better to be safe than sorry to have to restring this. I'm going to put my piece of tape on that edge, on that end. Right, makes it a little bit easier. Let me also, so we can see kind of clearly, I'm going to take that one off. Okay, now we're cooking. This one, another one of these, 11-aughts. Now, a shadow, a 4 mil, a shadow. And the good thing is when you have done these, when you've strung them, you just have to mirror on the other side. So that's looking good. 2 more black. Or no, there's a seed bead. Then a 3 mil. Then an 11-aught seed bead. 1 more. Whoops. I put on a seed bead, not a 3. A 3 of this. another vintage white, or vintage white it was, right? So now I'm going to hold it up and I can kind of visually see, okay, that's just about right there. So I think, you know, I'm going to alter this side and I want to see which I like better. I may want this to be a little further down. So let me change it on the other side when I string it. Okay. So let me do this. I'm going to take this side off. And this is really how, you know, designing on the fly kind of works for me, especially with these earrings. It's fun to kind of play around. You can go back and forth from the different sides to see what works. And then once you've created that one side, you just have to mirror it on the other side of your earring and then repeat it on the second earring. So let me show you what I was talking about having this 4mm a little closer. That's the thing about earrings, is that they make such a statement and you don't have a bunch of real estate to work with, right? The footprint is kind of small for these. So every bead really has to count, right? So there's this one, there's this, and then a couple of the 3mm. I want the 3mm a little closer to the top because these really have to taper. So let's see what I've got and let's compare. Okay. See that? See how I think that visually, let me even those out. Visually, I think that works a little bit better for my eye to have that white a little further down. So I think that's my story there. Let me look at the originals here real quick. Let me put that back up. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, all of the big stuff is closer to the bottom and the small stuff is over at the top. You can see on this one, I've put bugles. Bugles would be good with this too. So I think we're good. So let me put a piece of tape on this side. Though we don't have to exactly recreate it, right? So here's this. Let me take the tape off on this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and cheat. Let's see. This one was that. Oh, I'm missing a. I'm going to try and hold them between my fingers like this. Put that 11-aught on. Go back through that little spot. Get rid of those. Go back through that one, and that one. Oops, I dropped that 11-aught. Come on. There we go. And then mirror what I've got going on here. So I've got that. Though they're so small, if I make a slight mistake, it's not the end of the world. This one. This would be pretty. Someone in the comments said this would be pretty with freshwater pearls. By all means, this design is ultimately adaptable to a lot of different beads. So just grab your soft flex and the beads that you like, and it's all kind of in the measuring to see how these all go together. But let's see. And I'm going to double check this to see if we're even on the sides. Okay, so what I do is I put it together in kind of a loop like this, and I check across everything to make sure that I am good to go. And see what I have here? I have 2 11-aughts. So it's a good thing I checked. And take that 11-aught off and put these back on. Is it still raining out there, Miranda? Oh, all right. Yeah, it's raining hard here. Oh, and thank you, JP, for that reminder. It is true. Freshwater pearls don't always fit on the medium, the 0.019, but you can always go down to the 0.014 for those. Okay, so here's my loop right here. Okay, and this would look great like this, as just this loop, right? It would be gorgeous, just like that. But I'm going to do a double. I'm going to get it. We're going to make it more holiday-y. And I'm going to see how this fits. We don't need a lot. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go omit this section and just put this section above it. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to put a 3 mil. Well, first an 11-aught. The 11-aught really adds a pause to this. Visually, you know, it has a nice, you know, like a little comma, a little rest for your eye, a little bit of negative space. And you don't need a lot of beads for these. So you could go stash diving for sure, just to see what fits. I didn't put another 11, so let me do that. Mistake already. There we go. And let me do this side. Because once you've made the decisions for all of these, the second pair will go very quickly because you're just repeating. There we go. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm here, right? So I think I just need another little 3/0 grouping, and then I'll tape them up and we will measure. Okay, so here and here, like this, and here and here. Like that. And again, sometimes I like to string both of those sides at once. I have just a couple of these 11/0 left out. That's good news. Now I'm going to tape them, and I'm going to, let me check and make sure that we are mirrored correctly. We are. So I'm going to tape these in kind of like a little loop here, so I can check to see how they work together. And I'm going to use that tape kind of over the top. See how I'm putting the strings kind of close together so they hang as they will when I crimp them. I'll slide that up a little bit, that one up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there's the first loop. Let me do that with this one, and then I can measure to see how they look. I ended up not using any of those 8/0, and that's what I suspected. Again, we don't have a lot of real estate to use up for these earrings. So We don't need those 8/0. So we're going to lie this one on top of this one. So when they come together crimped, you can see how they're going to lay together. And I think that's about right. Okay. Again, you can make these any single loop that you like. These would also be beautiful this way. Okay. So now I actually need to look at the sample one more time. Let's put it on the screen. See how they're put together. Okay, so what I did was at the top, I used a jump ring and I crimped. I used the jump ring like it was the clasp. So I crimped all, both of these, all 4 ends, right to that loop right there. Okay, so let me do that. Take this off and let me find a jump ring. I think what I want is just a basic, nothing too fancy. Let me see what I've got here. Hang on. Oh, look what I found connected to this box. Remember the herringbone? That maybe I'm working in a theme. That was from Danielle's XOX bracelet. Remember that we did last week that I was playing around with? That works together kind of nicely. I think I'm going to use this one might be a bit big. That's 7mm, I think is big. I think I want our tried and true 6mm is what I want. And I think that is, which one is that? I got so many jump rings in this box. Hang on. I think it is, yeah, 6mm 18 gauge. These are soldered. I don't want them soldered. I want them unsoldered. Hang on for me. Miranda, can you grab the, I don't want to clip the soldered ones. Would you grab the 6mm antique brass? 18 gauge. I can't believe I don't have any in this box. That is, well, like it's my favorite.
On your workspace.
Yeah, that's what I want. Will you take, yeah, she's already on it. It's this one right here. That's the one. Okay. This is my all-time favorite jump ring. Right here. Let me get that out of the way. It's this one. This one, this one, this one. This is the magic jump ring. If you don't have them in your stash, get them. Okay? Get them. Because I love them. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to crimp this as if it were a little necklace. Okay? What we're also going to do is we're going to make sure that we've got enough room so that our crimp cover that we're going to put on this has enough room to go over the top of the crimp. Okay, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to close this up. I'm using the tip of my Xuron pliers and then my Xuron bent chain, but this is my Xuron crimping plier, and it has little needle nose tips on the top. So that's that one. Let me close this one up like that. I could even, so I don't have to open these after they're crimped, I'm going to add my ear wire on it. Why not, right? Let's do that, and then I'll add this one on so it's ready. Okay. Yeah, these jump rings, I call them the magic jump rings because they work with everything, but are 6mm, 18 gauge in all colors. This one and the 5mm, but 6mm, 18 gauge. It's the perfect size for everything, right? So that one I'll put aside. Okay, so I'm going to do the outer one first. I'm going to pull this one side out. I'm going to make sure that I don't have any 11/aught bead on here because that would be really easy for me to break when I crimp, so I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to put on my crimp tube. I'm going to make sure that this is facing the front. I'm going to put it through just like it's a clasp. Slide this on, slide it through, slide it up because I'm not worrying about tightening this on this side yet. I don't want the loop to be giant. Sorry, let me focus this. I don't want my loop to be giant, but I want it to be large enough so I've got movement. Okay, that's really important with these earrings. I'm going to come in with my Xuron crimping tool for this. I'm going to put it in the little crimping slot. Then I'm going to turn it so it fits in the 2mm crimp tube area, close it, and tighten. Sorry, 16 gauge. Did I say 16mm? I meant 16 gauge jump ring. Sorry, I had millimeters on my mind. But it's 16, it's 6mm, 16 gauge. Okay?
The drum ring?
Yeah.
Those are
18 gauge. Let me try it again. 6mm, 18 gauge. Okay, shoot. All right, now we're going to slide this all the way over. And we're going to crimp it. On the other side here. Before I crimp it though, I am going to put the crimp cover on because the crimp cover does take a little bit of space, right? So, and it can be a little bit of a pain. Notice I still have my tape on that side. I'm going to put my crimp cover over the top of that crimp, get it in there. Just like that. And I'm going to use my Xuron tool to close that cover over the top. I'm going to put it in the biggest crimping area and give it a little hug. There we go. Okay. And notice I cut the tail off of this, off of the Softflex. So it's nice and crimped, nice and tightly with my plier, so it's not going anywhere. Okay, so now let me get another crimp. Okay, let me put that crimp on. Let me put it through. I want to make sure that nothing is twisted here. Okay, let me slide all this down. But that I have enough room. Okay, so see, here's the jump ring. Now I'm going to go through this side, slide it through, slide that crimp tube all the way down to the bottom there. Okay. Now, so that the slack is in the loop. Like that. And I'm going to pull, taking all of the slack up out of the loop here. Okay, and we want to check that it's sitting correctly, and we want to check to make sure that that this loop is the right size, right? That they're an even size. I also need to make sure of a couple more things. That this loop isn't too tight, but it's tight enough so that it has a little bit of slack, okay? And I need a little bit of space there so that when I put this crimp cover in, there's room for that crimp cover to sit. Everything looks right. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to make sure that I'm not popping a bead. That's why I don't put an 11/0 right up to here. Okay. Then I turn it and I fold it, tighten it down, give it a little bit of a hug with the tool, and I come in and under tension, I pull that soft flicks away and give it a cut. Now I will go ahead and add that crimp cover. I think I might have made these a little longer than other ones in the past, but you know, I like a dramatic earring, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll measure everything and stuff when I'm done. Let me see if I can get this. Crimp covers, I think, as one of you said earlier, are kind of a pain. Let me make sure that this is closed all the way. I'm going to get this plier. Then I'm going to try and, yeah, there we go. It's nice and tight. Now, with this crimp cover, I think that one might have something in it, which might have been the issue. I bring the crimp cover up behind the crimp and I nestle. I said I nestle. I'm going to edit this whole part out when I do the edits here. So it'll look like I've just done it really super easily. Come on. You're not going to get the best of me. Here's this. Maybe if I do it with my plier. Yeah, no. I'm going to come up from underneath. Oh my gosh. It's because all of you are watching. There we go. Did all of you do a collective groan? Let's see. The way I've done this in the past, let me try this. I put it in my plier right there. Hang on. Like that. We can see that opening. And I slide that crimp tube over the top of it. Ugh, and then I drop the crimp. For the love. Let me get a fresh crimp. Maybe I'll hold it like this. Get that crimp tube in it. Push it up from the bottom. I think it's in. Let me see if I can close it over the top. You push it down with the tip of this plier. Usually they just fit in. So, aha, there we go. I think I got it. There we go. Come on now. There. That's in. Did you hear that little click? I am going to slide in. Okay. So what I do is I get the crimp cover around the crimp, and I really want to make sure it's nestled in there like that. And you can see I was struggling just a little bit to get it in there, but once it's in there, I get the tip of my plier right in and I close it right over right over the top like that. There we go. And if you have to struggle a little bit, it's worth it because the crimp covers look so nice on the top. Okay, does that help? I hope so. Let me do this other one right here. Hopefully I won't have the trouble. Let me take this out. Now, for this second strand, what I do is I crimp this above the first strand, the long strand. This is the short strand. So see here, I'm coming in. Here's the ear wire. There's the long strand. So I'm going to go in between those two, which is why I think it's a good idea to put the ear wire on. Oh, and see, this one has the 11-aught. I'm going to take that 11-aught off because while I'm fooling around and crimping it and everything, I'm just going to break that bead. And ask me how I know. I've done it many a time. So that goes between the ear wire and the first strand, back through the crimp. And this side, I don't have to wrestle with much because I'm going to fix the sizing on the other side. So let me get a little tighter in here so you can see me crimp it. And I'm going to come in, push it down. Close it. I want it to be in that one. Really tighten it. Cut it under tension. Yeah, I don't know what it is with the YouTube comments today. Sorry about that, everybody. But, so there's that. Maybe that's why we don't have quite as many comments today. So there it is. See, that's open and up like that. Drop that in, push it up. Yeah, see, look at this one wanted to cooperate. And there we have it. Now, like this. And this one. You know what? I think I crimped this in the wrong place. I think I wanted them crimped on the inside. But don't fear, because look what we're going to do. I mean, on the outside would be okay too. Let me show you what that would look like, right? It would kind of be up on the outside like that. So I don't know if there's a wrong or a right, but I actually want these to be on the inside of what we've got. So hold, please. Let me do this. And I'm going to open these up. I still have the piece of tape over here. Now, I am going to find where this is open. Like that. There it is. I'm going to open right here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to carefully close it. Now I'm going to see how I flip everything. So when I crimp this other one, I'm going to crimp it right there. So the ear wire is going to be up here, then the long strand, then the second short strand there. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to add the ear wire back in. Right there and right here. There we go. And that one there. And close. Okay, like that. Okay. So now, let me go back and out a little bit. Merry Christmas, Julie. Thanks for joining us. I figured a little live on a Christmas Eve won't hurt anyone, right? So here's this one. I'm going to slide this up. I'm going to take off this tape. I'm going to take off that 11-aught. This crimp tube goes on. This goes inside, so I've made a change from crimping it on the outside. I'm crimping it on the inside. So the lineup is the ear wire, the long strand, then the short strand, the long strand, and then back up to the ear wire here. Okay. So this, tighten it up, leave myself enough room so I have space to get this right, to crimp it so it doesn't have too much space there. But just enough so I can get that crimping tube, the crimp cover tight. There, that looks right. Let me get in here and crimp it closed. Just like that. I'm going to come in. I'm going to fold it. Do that. Cut this extra. Yeah, and do a single or a double. Doesn't matter. Whatever you like. If you like the single loop better, do the single. If you like the double better, do the double. There we go. Look at how great those look. There it is. I'm going to put one on and see how they look. Bear with me here just a second. Okay, let me take this earring out. Look at how great they look. Love. There it is. Done and done. Yeah, it's goes great with my holiday outfit. We're good to go, right? I will get them up as a project. Honestly, to be completely honest, I'm going to go make holiday cookies after this broadcast. So I will get them up by Friday. Okay. But if you want to grab, I'm going to put the crimp cover on the last crimp. I will. I just didn't want to take the time. But you saw what I used. Grab yourself a smooth drop in the Venetian white. Yeah, and I'll show the new drop colors again for you, Mary, as well. So let me show you what I did. Let me put this here. Let me do that. So here they are. Let me get these. We have some other drops into. Just go over to our check glass and sort. These are called the smooth drops. All of these will come up. This is that Venetian. Let me go to the page so I tell you exactly what these are. Bear with me here just a second. They're all right now, if you're watching me on Christmas Eve, it is in our Just In section. This is the Grape and Gold Venetian right here. This is white bronze and Venetian, what I used here. This is the Sky, Slate, and Celadon. This is the black transparent. And this one is the ivory with the mercury finish. Okay. Then I used 4mm in vintage white. I used 3mm in the Picasso black. I used the coil spacers in antique brass, Little Shadows antique brass, the vintage lever back in antique brass, and then that 11-aught is the 11-457, the dark bronze. So that was it. That's all she wrote. But it is a great one for, oh, and the 6mm, thank you for asking. This 6mm is the champagne and green Picasso. That's this. Okay. So use whatever you want, a 3mm, a 4mm, a 6mm, and a smooth drop. Then pepper in some 11-aughts, some little spacers, whatever it is you like. And then, again, that jump ring I used was the 6mm 18 gauge. But I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it has a nice look. Again, make it a single loop or a double, but whatever works for you. Okay, so that's that. So let me tell you, my friends, about the rest of the weekend. I'm going to put this on. So tomorrow, for those of you who celebrate, it is Christmas Day. I hope that all of you have a fantastic holiday, however you celebrate, whoever you celebrate it with. I hope that you have a restful day tomorrow. On Friday, I'm going to be here for a Free Tip Friday. Okay, it'll be Boxing Day. I have a really sweet, simple wrap bracelet that I have wanted to make for a really, really long time. I'm going to use, it looks like we actually sold out of that little leaf clasp in silver, but we'll have more of them. Maybe I'll use the 2 halves necklace or the 2 halves clasp instead, but we're just going to need a small little clasp. So we're going to do that. It's going to be a super simple wrap using some of our new check glass and things. It'll be a great one for you to stash dive with. That'll be a lot of fun. And then this Saturday, the 27th, that is Saturday, December 27th at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, Danielle and I and Neelay Patel from Silver Silk, we are going to do the unboxing of Danielle's holiday winter renewal box. Also, right at 10:30, I will have all of the products that we are carrying from Danielle's box. So if you didn't get to get one of Danielle's boxes and you want some of the components from it, or I shouldn't tell you this, but I think we have 10 extra boxes. We've shipped everything out. We just did a count. So they will also be up at 10:30 on the 27th, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. I will have all of that in the newsletter. There'll be a link to the page where Danielle's, all of the things will be on there as well. So it'll be an unboxing day, literally for Boxing Day. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We're also going to open up, Neelay's going to open up his companion piece collection for that. Danielle sent us one as well. So I have one. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to open it. I'm putting it away. I'm going to open it on Saturday. It's right there. I know it's right there. It just came. It's sitting right there, but I'm not going to open it. I'm just going to wait. Just going to wait. So that's that. We're going to have a good time on Saturday. So mark your calendars. We'll have it on the homepage and we will have it in the newsletter. tomorrow, we just have a simple newsletter going out to you that says Happy Holidays. We're keeping it calm and cool this holiday season, right? So on Friday, take a look for your newsletter with all of that info, the project, all of that stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's it. It's Christmas Eve. I hope all of you have a fantastic, restful couple of days. I'm going to start making merry. My parents are coming. We're having a big Dungeness crab feed. Miranda has family and stuff over tonight. So we are going to get out of here shortly. Lots of loves to you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Mele Kaliki Maka, which I love. Kwanzaa starts.
Boxing Day.
Right. All of it. So we are.
I have a sign on my door that says "Merry everything to everyone."
Yes, merry everything to everyone. That's perfect. All right, my friends. Have a fantastic day. Get some rest. Just rest up. Enjoy your chosen family. Enjoy being by yourself. If you're like the hermit at Christmas. I remember I spent one Christmas by myself one year, and it may have been the best Christmas I ever spent because I got to eat exactly what I wanted and watch exactly what I wanted. But it's also great to celebrate with loved ones, and you, my folks, are our loved ones. So thank you so much. I will see you on Friday for Free Tip and on Saturday with our buddies Nile and Danielle. Happy, and be safe, and I'll see you Friday. Thanks, everyone.